I'm Mary Lyons, the Wealth Woman. Welcome to the New School Millionaire. I am here today to talk to you a little bit about why I am jaded about the financial industry as a whole and give you some reasons why the New School Millionaire is going to change the way you think about money. And what I'd like to start with is the idea that essentially the financial services industry is two kids fighting over the same toy. So if you think about where most of the financial advice you receive comes from, it's two places: either financial institutions that focus on investments like the stock market, or financial institutions that focus on products like insurance. So if you think about the industries that are competing for your money, it's the investment industry versus the insurance industry. If any of you watching this have kids or have ever been a kid, you can remember a moment in time where there was one toy and two children who both wanted it. And I think what ends up happening here is that they end up in a fight over that toy because they view it as a scarce resource. And then the moment they have a chance to go tell mom or dad what's happening, they're going to skew everything that happened just from their perspective so that they get the outcome that they're looking for. So they're going to sit there and bash the other child and talk about what the other child did that was wrong, but from their perspective. And our gut instinct is to believe the first story that we hear, but as we get older and wiser, we realize maybe we should ask some questions. So we begin to say, okay, that's your side of the story, but what about your side of the story? And we end up getting someone else's side of the story, and we find out that the first set of facts was incredibly biased, and the second set of facts is also incredibly biased. But when you have both sets, then you can begin to figure out where the commonalities are, and you can figure out what's really happening. This is what I think is happening in the world today when we try and talk to people about our money, because the investment companies want you to give them all of your dollars because that's how they make money. And the insurance companies want you to give them all of your dollars because that's how they make their money. So let's talk about that for just a second. If we think about what happens with financial institutions, regardless of whether that institution is an investment institution or an insurance institution, they essentially make money the same way. So if you think about what happens on the investment side of the house, they gather your assets, they have money that's coming in, and the more net worth that they're managing, the larger the fee that they're able to take. So they may be taking a 1% fee across billions of assets, but that generates substantially more income than just taking a 1% fee across a couple million. So what they do is they teach their advisors to get those assets in, and then they want to hold on to them as long as possible, and they want to make it as difficult as possible for you to get your money back. If you think about the insurance industry, especially with permanent products, whether it's universal life or whole life insurance, it's the same MO. They want you to give them the financial wherewithal that you have. They want to collect those dollars, and they also are going to take fees for managing those dollars. What changes is how they compensate their salespeople. That's right, I did say salespeople. Regardless of whether someone calls themselves a financial advisor and they are looking almost exclusively at investments, or someone who is looking at the insurance side of things, both of those are selling product. It may be mutual fund, it may be a managed portfolio, it may be permanent insurance, but it is all product. When it comes down to it, one may get a fee, the other may get a commission, but ultimately the business model from the institution is to gather as much of your money as they can and to hold on to it as long as possible so that they can continue to take fees for the management of those assets. The problem with this is that the way they teach their advisors impacts the way you think you should save money. Let me see if this sounds familiar to you. You need to put as much money away for your future as you can. I need you to defer gratification. I need you to minimize your current spending. You need to put as much into the bucket as you possibly can and let that grow for as long as possible. And then one day you'll get to retire. And on that day, you'll begin living your dream life. So you do that for your entire life. You save money, you defer that gratification, you think about your bucket list, and then one day you get there and you're finally ready to retire. And guess what? The advisor says to you, well, you can't really spend that much money or you might run out. And so here you have deferred gratification for your entire life. And just kidding, you still don't get to live your dream life. You need to minimize what you spend because otherwise you're terrified that you're going to run out of money. This is a problem, guys. Who wants to actually do that? I know I don't. I would much rather be in a situation where I get to enjoy my life today and I'm very efficient with the dollars that I am saving so that I know I'm going to get to continue to enjoy my life into the future. Most of the strategies that we see that are pushed out to the American public right now are designed to keep you from going broke, but they are not designed to keep you actually moving towards building real wealth. Let me say that again a little bit differently. Most of the strategies today are designed to keep you from growing broke. They are not meant to help you become truly, truly wealthy. This is it, guys. We are stuck in the old days. Most of the advice that is being given today is designed for a system that no longer exists. If we go back in time, we know that our grandparents were in a different situation than us. Most of our affluent grandparents had pensions and they knew they could count on Social Security. Neither of those are about how much money you have sitting in an account. That's about how much of a paycheck you're going to get guaranteed for the rest of your life the moment you turn that check on. That means that if you think about this as a three-legged stool, there are two income-focused legs. And in the old world, the old school model here, you had a third leg, which was your investments. Well, the only thing those investments needed to do is actually grow. So that meant that the financial advisor you talked to, because the pension and Social Security were already taken care of, had one job and one job only. And that was to get your assets, to gather them in for the institution, and then to create a rate of return for you that was going to grow your net worth. That sets the entire paradigm for how we think about our money today. It is us thinking about rate of return and net worth. And in fact, any article that you read that talks about the wealthiest people in the world is going to talk about net worth. Very, very rarely do you read something that talks about income or lifestyle. And this is where I want you guys to have a paradigm shift. If we can begin to say, hey, listen, most of us don't have pensions, and those of us that do know that they most likely will not replace 100% of our lifestyle. And I don't know about you, but Social Security is not going to replace the lifestyle that most of the people I talk to would like to be living. And so when you think about now the pressure that is put onto our investments, totally different. Not only do they have to grow and produce rate of return, they have to do something else. There's an and here, and we need to go ahead and focus on that. They need to grow and create net worth, but more importantly, they need to create income for us so that we can maintain our preferred lifestyle, not just while we're working, but well into our retirement, so that rather than deferring our gratification, we can live a better life today and a better life in the future. And that starts with placing the priority on income first, net worth second. I'm so glad you're joining us. Get ready for a ride. Now you know the problems, we can help.